All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are breaking down one of the absolute most intense, lore-heavy sequences we've gotten so far, Kael's desperate dive into the heart of the unknown. We're going to transform this incredibly dense narrative into a clear, structured breakdown. We'll be looking closely at the tactical strategies, analyzing those deeply hostile environments, and unpacking the critical clues and character dialogue hidden right in front of us. So get comfortable, focus in, and let's unravel the mysteries of the Abyss Gate together.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our story kicks off right inside Gate 97. We see a mysterious golden-eyed warrior stepping out of a shattered crystal chamber, and if you watch closely, you'll see the magical chains literally exploding around her. It's incredibly cinematic. Then she speaks, and her opening words carry this heavy, ominous weight. 3 gates opened, far sooner than expected. This isn't just a cool, dramatic intro, right? It's actually a massive temporal clue. Things in this universe are accelerating way beyond whatever timeline she was anticipating.
Meanwhile, Kael gets a system update, and it lays out a pretty brutal step-by-step survival guide for our protagonist. Step 1. Depart the underground city. Up on the surface, it is absolute chaos with monsters ravaging the villages. Because of this, Arkin has to stay behind, warning Kael that the road ahead is worse than any dungeon. Step 2. Track a massive energy signature for days until they reach the towering, jagged peaks of the Crimson Mountains. And finally, Step 3. Locate the actual source of that signature, Gate 97. It's a straightforward step-by-step plan. But, in a world this hostile, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Which brings us to this breathtaking high-speed mountain ambush. As Kael's team navigates the dramatic Crimson Mountain range under these dark, swirling skies, they're being watched. Then, literally without a single warning, that Golden-Eyed Huntress launches a full-scale assault right from the cliffs. The sheer kinetic energy in this action scene is wild. You get these heavy, visceral strikes, and Kael barely raises his weapon in time to block her blade at the absolute last millisecond. It immediately highlights her absolute combat dominance.
She just dismantles Kael effortlessly. I mean, we've seen Kael fight, we know what he's capable of, but this mysterious attacker completely overwhelms his defenses in seconds. As Lyra screams Kael's name in pure panic, this warrior just looks down. Notice her body movement here. Her stance is completely relaxed, despite the intense combat they were just in. Then, with perfect lip sync to her stoic expression, she delivers 2 devastating words: too slow. It establishes an immediate, terrifying power gap between our protagonist and this new presence.
But then, she actually lowers her weapon. The tension just totally drops. Standing against that towering mountain backdrop, she introduces herself as Seraphina, the 7th successor. And wow, this is a brilliant narrative pivot. She wasn't an enemy assassin trying to kill Kael at all. She was running a brutal physical test to see if the 9th successor was actually worth saving. She belongs to the exact same legendary lineage that Kael has stumbled into. So the crucial point is how this revelation completely shifts the stakes. Seraphina drops a massive lore bomb on Kael and Rowan. The overarching villain, the Hollow King, he isn't just trying to gather up gates like they previously assumed. No, his true objective is actively hunting down the successors. Think about the dread of realizing you aren't the hunter anymore, but the hunted. Kael's entire paradigm has to change here. He isn't just an adventurer. He, along with Seraphina, is the prey in a deadly, multiversal manhunt. Armed with this terrifying new context, the group finally arrives at the physical location of Gate 97. But as Mira's system detects a massive surge, they look up. This gigantic, ruined abyss gate embedded into the mountain cliff is already radiating dark energy. You can feel the suspense building as the horrifying realization sets in. They're too late. The breach has happened. The door is wide open, and they have absolutely no choice but to walk right into whatever is waiting for them on the other side.
Crossing that threshold, they don't just step into some dark cave. They step into a massive, endless frozen kingdom. And infiltrating this place requires 3 immediate tactical steps. First, enter these freezing, snow-covered ruins and try to maintain focus despite the rapidly dropping temperatures. Second, survive the immediate hostile threats that are actively beginning to stir in the ice around them. And finally, step 3, make their way to that enormous glowing ice palace visible in the distance to investigate the core of this gate.
But then, the true scale of the threat reveals itself. We are not talking about a few wandering monsters here. As Mira detects hostile entities, the snow literally begins to rise. Thousands of frozen, undead soldiers awaken beneath the icy kingdom. The ground shakes, the ice cracks open, and this vast army forms a seemingly impenetrable wall of ice and bone between our heroes and that central palace.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where Serafina's veteran status shines. She unleashes these unbelievable magical attacks, visually clearing entire swaths of the undead horde in seconds. It is a stunning, action-packed display of magic and chaos across the snow. Lyra watches in total awe, and it really leaves Cale questioning the sheer, terrifying power scale of his own lineage. You get to see firsthand exactly how a veteran successor commands the battlefield.
Fighting their way through the horde, they finally breach the center. The enormous ice palace is glowing beneath the frozen skies, radiating this powerful, mysterious energy. But as they step inside, they don't find a monster waiting for them. Instead, they find an ancient frozen throne room. And sitting right in the absolute center is a glowing blue throne. But it's completely empty. Cale is visibly confused, but Serafina provides another crucial piece of the puzzle. Every single successor once had a throne exactly like this one.
But you see, the empty throne isn't just a relic, it's a messenger. Suddenly, magical, glowing words manifest directly above it. The fourth has fallen. It is a chilling confirmation of Serafina's warning. Rowan's reaction says it all. The Hollow King's hunt is real, it is actively happening right now, and they are essentially looking at the tombstone of one of Call's predecessors.
Before they can even process this tragedy, the entire palace violently shakes. The floor cracks wide open. With sudden, overwhelming violence, a colossal ice dragon shatters the frozen ground. Lyra initially thinks it's just a massive monster, but Mira's system quickly corrects her. This isn't some wandering beast. It is an ancient guardian. This colossal creature is the protector of Gate 97, and our heroes are standing right in its crosshairs.
To truly understand the sheer danger they're in right now, let's map out this hierarchy. We've got two distinct layers of threat here. The immediate physical threat is the ancient Ice Guardian. Its domain is Gate 97, and its objective is simple: destroy any intruders. But hovering way above this is the overarching mastermind, the Hollow King. His domain is an unknown dark fortress, and his objective is far, far more terrifying. He wants to capture and chain all 9 successors. If this universe is a dark club, well, the dragon is just the bouncer at the door. The Hollow King is the one orchestrating the whole shebang inside. And the dragon actually confirms this hierarchy itself. Its glowing blue eyes lock onto Cale, and as its massive jaws move, it delivers this incredibly ominous dialogue. Another successor enters my master's domain. This completely throws Cale. I mean, the fact that a creature this ancient, this massive, and this magically potent refers to someone else as its master solidifies just how unimaginable the Hollow King's power truly is.
But the dragon doesn't just threaten them. It forces a horrifying vision directly into their minds, projected right through the ice. We get this cinematic sweep inside a dark fortress surrounded by raging storms. There's a gigantic throne made entirely of shadows. And the absolute most chilling detail? 3 legendary successors are physically captured, bound by heavy chains to these giant pillars. The stark, grim reality shows us exactly what happens if Kyle and Serafina fail.
In that vision, the Hollow King sits high above his captives, and he delivers a horrifying promise. He leans forward on his throne of shadows, his body language radiating absolute confidence, and says, "Soon all 9 will kneel." He already has 3. He knows exactly where Cale and Serafina are. The net is closing fast. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this leaves us with a really grim mathematical reality. Out of 9 successors in total, 3 are currently chained up in that fortress. 1, the 4th, is confirmed dead. 2 are actively fighting for their lives right now. That's Kal-El and Serafina, which leaves exactly 3 successors whose status is completely unknown. The hunt hasn't just begun. It is in its final, deadliest stages.
This leaves some massive lore mysteries just hanging in the air. Who exactly are those 3 captured successors chained in the Dark Fortress? What are their specific powers, and how in the world were they defeated? And what were the exact circumstances that led to the 4th falling? These are the foundational pieces of history that Cale absolutely must uncover if he has any hope of avoiding the exact same fate.
But hey, before Cale can even worry about the fate of the other successors, he has an immediate, desperate problem right in front of his face. Can Cale, even with the veteran help of Serafina, survive the Ancient Ice Guardian? I mean, thousands of undead soldiers are behind them, and a massive magic-wielding dragon is literally right on top of them. Escaping Gate 97 is no longer just about closing a portal, it is about raw survival. And finally, our ultimate question to leave you with today. What secret is hidden in that dark fortress of chains? Why does the Hollow King need all 9 to kneel? There is a grand, terrifying design at play here, and Kewell has just unknowingly stepped right onto the board. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I absolutely cannot wait to uncover the next piece of this massive puzzle with you. Until then, keep learning and stay curious.